Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, so we're going to get started this week. We're going to get started out into the solar system. So we're getting started with Offworld Trading Company. So Offworld Trading Company, the cool little sort of a mission, resource, and empire building scenario system that was set on Mars, has released its latest piece of DLC, the Ceres Initiative. So this essentially takes place on the largest asteroid in the asteroid belt. So it puts a new little spin on the existing complexities that is driven by trying to create a successful company on Mars by now dropping you onto an asteroid. So yeah, it looks quite interesting. Comes out to the whole heap of new maps, of course, on the new location of Ceres. Also gives you a new resource, new buildings, new patterns, and some new challenges as well that's been put there as well. So, what's really probably really good about this is that it doesn't affect the core game. So all the mods only take place on Ceres. So it doesn't actually affect the core game at all, which is kind of cool and kind of good because I think the core game is pretty solid the way it is. So there you go. Anyway, so for those of you who are wanting a bit more of a challenge and want to expand your horizons in the off-world colonies, you can grab this one now, available now on Steam. Alrighty, continuing on with new releases, and this time moving into the skies. So we're going to stick with Steam for the moment. So for FSX Steam Edition, we've got a couple of releases this week. So we've got three releases this week. So these releases are new to FSX Steam Edition through Steam, but they are not new releases. So these are re-releases of stuff that we've already had before. So the first two we've got come from the stables of Batavia. So the first one is the Boeing B-29 Super Fortress, so the giant and very iconic bomber from the Pacific theater of the Second World War. So this one, as I said, it's been available from Batavia for, I think, I'm going to have to say about 2 years now, through the normal flight simulation retailer engines, retailer stores, but it is now available on Steam for the Steam Edition version as well. There's no difference except for the fact that you get no liveries with it. So, which, yeah, okay, again, you know my thoughts on that, my opinions of that, but yeah, whatever. For Dovetail Games Infinite Wisdom, that's what they've decided to do, so that's fine. So yeah, just be aware that if you do pick this one up, you are getting it as a clean, all natural metal finish and no markings. So but the paint kit's provided, but you don't get all the actual beautiful custom-made liveries that were there originally released by the Batavia team. So be aware of that. Otherwise, as I said, it is available and has been available for a while from your favorite flight simulation retailer. So if you are thinking of getting it and would like to deliveries, possibly look at picking it up there, and also for cross-platform compatibility as well. Alrighty, and the second one this week from the Batavia stables, of course, is the Rockwell B1B Lancer, or more affectionately known as the Bone. So this one, again, it's a release that's been around for a couple of years from Batavia and AlphaSim before them. It's a solid release. There's not many really around for it, and it looks good. It handles nicely, but again, as I said, as this is the Steam Edition release, it does come as a clean skin. You do get two liveries with this one. You get an all grey and you get a green and dark sea grey color scheme one. So yeah, it's yeah, okay. Again, not going to go into it, but yes, this is available now for F6 Steam Edition, as I said. Or if you do want to grab the original releases, which are exactly the same as this, but would come with the original liveries included, head on over to your favorite flight simulation retailer. Alright, the third release for F6 Steam Edition this week is Yankee Mike Lima, so Melbourne International Airport down in Australia. So this is from the guys over at Orbix. So this is version 3, so this is their latest release. Now this was released across all the other flight simulation retailers Actually, let me rephrase that. The one retailer that sells Orbix products, that's the Flight Sim store. So this was released with those guys back at the beginning of August. So it has been available for a couple of weeks now, but it is now available for F6 Steam Edition. So if you're only an F6 Steam Edition user, yeah, probably not a bad idea. Just grab this one here. If you are a multi-platform simmer though, or if you just want to have an option, then it is also available from Flight Sim store as well. So just keep that in mind. Depending on how you simulate, that may depend on where you purchase it from. But as I said, this is a really solid looking reboot of it. So this is version 3 of Melbourne International. So this was one of their first sort of like major airport sceneries they ever released, that Orbix ever released, and they've rebooted it every few years since then, as the terminal as the airport itself has changed and grown. And so this is the latest release, which now dates it to the start of 2016, which includes the new Terminal 4 and Pier G expansions have all been put in, as well as some updates to some of the ground polys as well, so looking even more impressive than ever before. But as I said, the Steam Edition version is now available on F6 Steam Edition, or alternatively you can also pick it up from the Flight Sim store. Alrighty, sticking with the world of flight simulation for now, but moving into the world away from Steam and into the greater ESP platform genre. So the guys over at Tabaret. So Tabaret, of course, as we know, are very, very infamous and famous for their night lighting packs, and they've come out to brighten our night skies once again, with their F6 and P3D Night 3D Africa base package. So the fact they're referring to this as a base package as well is rather interesting as well. I'm not quite sure what this sort of means. It's sort of very vague sort of suggestion in the description that it use less hard drive space and better frame rates. But yeah, anyway. Essentially, what it seems to be doing, what it seems to be aiming for, is making sure it stays compatible with other scenery packages as well. So whether it doesn't matter whether you're using FTX Global, Ultimate Terrain Global, or anything else that's around, this should still be compatible with it. And apparently, it does dynamically look at your vector data that you've got in your sim. So it won't just read off the base vector data, it'll actually look to see if you've got any additional vector data installed as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so yeah, as I said, if you're looking at picking up some something to spice up your night lighting for your night flying experience, this is probably something for you to think about, along with some of the other fantastic night lighting packs from Tabaret. Available now from Sim Market or from your favourite flight sim retailer. Alright, sticking with, of course, the world of flight simulation again. So the guys over at Just Sim, so the Russian developer, they have put out their latest release, which is Innsbruck Airport in Austria. They've released this one for the full range of FSX and P3D platforms as well, including with some neat little tricks that they're doing with their rain and weather reflections on glass at the airport as well as keeping some of the amazing ground textures that they've become quite known for. What's really interesting is that hot on the heels of well, actually, not really so much hot on the heels. Well, it's been hinted at that Orbix is going to be doing an Innsbruck. From the guy at Air Daily X sort of hinted at that a few months back. But it literally, this Just Sim released their Innsbruck. It was out, confirmed, and within hours, Orbix had made the official statement that yes, they are developing Innsbruck as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm guessing this one's probably the Just Sim one's going to be a bit more affordable than the Innsbruck, than the Orbix when it comes out. But yeah, we know the quality of the Orbix product and the fact that the Orbix is doing not just the airport, they're doing like the whole valley. Like, it's looking incredible, the details of that one as well. Whereas the Just Sim guys have focused primarily just on the airport. So depending on what you're after, depends on whether you're going to grab the Just Sim one now or whether you're going to be looking at holding off until the Orbix one comes out. But if the Just Sim one is going to be for you, that is available now from your favourite flight sim retailer. Alright, speaking of Orbix, so the guys over at Orbix did have one release this week, so one brand new release, so that's for their FTX Global range. So this is Dubrovnik Airport. So Dubrovnik, a beautiful little town on the side of the Mediterranean there, just looking very, very picturesque and very, very beautiful place in the world. It is absolutely incredible. It really is. Got very fortunate. Got to spend a bit of time there not many years ago, but yeah, quite a few years ago now. Absolutely loved it. It is a beautiful place as well, and this is looking at a really impressive model. So this is just the quality of Orbic's work is actually going forward in leaps and bounds. It really is. So it's very impressive to see this one. Now you've also got not just the airport, but again, like we're seeing with more of the Orbix and other developers as well. You've got over 100 square kilometers, over 100 square kilometers of fully covered information and scenery rendition here. So it is not just the actual airport; it is the surrounding area. So it almost becomes a mini region. So yeah, looking pretty damn cool, this one. So yeah, looking absolutely amazing. The full Dubrovnik cityscape is also included as well. So it's the city, it's the airport, and the surrounding area. So it looks absolutely amazing. Definitely going to be looking amazing for you to head out to the Croatian Riviera. So there you go. And of course, this one is available now from the Flight Sim store. Alrighty, well that rounds out the scenery releases for this week, but now of course we've got another aircraft release. So Flight Sim Labs. So Flight Sim Labs have been kicking around since, oh good lord, since Pontius was a pilot basically. So they've been kicking around and they specialise in very highly detailed simulations, but they've only ever had one product, which was the Concorde X. And don't get me wrong, it's incredibly detailed, it really is. But that was the only product. Now they sort of announced back like pretty much when Concorde was released that their next project was going to be the A320, which was all cool. And then it went on, the months, the weeks, the months, the years went on without really hearing much about it. Then lately, in the last few months, we just had this flurry of updates, and now we finally see it. It is now available for your simulation pleasure. So if you are into your Airbuses, but of course, as we know, PMG will never be doing. Actually, no, I should never say never, because never say never, because you never know what might happen. So, but PMGs have never expressed a particular direction towards doing an Airbus. So this is apparently they're going to be the one for you. So flight simulators are definitely a very high quality, incredibly detailed system that they've got here. It looks absolutely spectacular. So if you are into your tube liners and you do want to get a break from your PMDG, you want to be looking at something like an Airbus, and it looks like Flight Sim Labs is going to be for you. Now at the moment it is only available for FSX and for FSX Steam Edition. It is not available for P3D. So P3D version is coming. It has been confirmed it will be coming shortly. However, just like PMDG, it is a split purchase, so you will have to purchase separately for each simulation platform, depending on which one you prefer to use. But this is available now, as I said, from the Flight Sim Labs website for the grand old price of $99.95 US dollars for FSX, and with a P3D price to be confirmed. Alrighty, in other aircraft type releases this week, so the guys over at Milvis, so the Milvis Phantom has been kicking around now for quite a few months now, and one of the things that they hinted at early on, that they were going to make it TAC Pack compatible eventually, and they've been true to their word, and they have released the TAC Pack the TAC Pack upgrade add-on pack for the F4E Phantom. Now, couple of interesting notes to back of this one. So they've only released it for the F4E, not for the SJ navalized one. Now, the SJ product page hints that it's possibly going to be coming to the F4J and the F4S as well in the future, but for now it is only available for the F4E Phantom 2. Now look, it's $15 to upgrade your Milvis Phantom F4E Phantom to the TAC Pack Edition. Now I'm just gonna throw it out there. I've said this before when Milvis hinted about it, and Milvis have done it on other aircraft before, and I have a problem with it. I have a problem with it if you're going to charge separately for the TAC Pack on it. Either you put it in or you don't. Don't try and charge $60 for a product and then charge another $15-20 to make it TAC Pack compatible. Either put it in or don't. Just make a call on it. Don't try and upgrade it. And this is really a bit disappointing for Milvis as well, because of the fact that Milvis have got it bundled with their other aircraft. So the F100 has included, the P38 has included. Like, it's like, guys, come on, like, why do you do that? But they've also set the precedent of doing the pay extra path as well with their F86 Sabre. So it's like, guys, can you just make up your mind which one you want to do, please? Just figure it out. Anyway, so that's just a side note, but yeah. Anyway, if you are wanting to upgrade your Milis F4E Phantom to be TAC Pack compatible, available now direct from the Milis website for $15 US. Alrighty, moving on now. Well, that wraps up the flight simulation world news for this week. So we've got a few more things moving on though. So we're going to move on to, we're going to stay in the skies for the moment. Well, at least sort of, starting in the sky, moving to ground level. So we've got a new VR title has come out. So this is a Mount Wingsuit. So a fictional mountain somewhere in the alpine regions of Europe, it looks like, where you get to jump off various platforms, towers, balloons, all sorts of things in a custom-made series of 5 different wingsuits. 8 different wingsuits, and you can go through with make your leap of faith into the sky from 20 different drop points, and go through various challenges, and just been generally going through some amazing VR experiences and trying not to die. So look, like all props for the people who do wingsuiting. You guys are incredible. But you are batshit insane. Like, I know I'm crazy for going off and doing Spartan races, but you guys are batshit insane doing the wingsuit stuff. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, so yes, you get to relive and you get to experience some of the thrills experienced by wingsuit jumpers throughout this one. Going through different survival modes with challenges. You've got a whole heap of different challenges and courses to go through. Off the top of my head, I think it looks like there's about 7 or 8 courses. And just a huge amount of scenery. Look, the sceneries are not hugely detailed, but overall it still looks like it's a solid performance one. And if you've got a VR headset, probably something to, and if you've got a bit of adrenaline in you, it's probably not bad to do. One thing I do like the fact is that it is a VR headset is not required. Highly recommended, but not required. So yeah, that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, so those of us who don't have VR headsets can take and stab at this as well. But yes, if jumping off mountains, balloons, and various other things, and plummeting to your death or possible death in a neoprene suit looking like a set of wings is up your alley and of interest to you, Mount Wingsuit is available now on Steam. Alright, now that we've come crashing down to Earth, we've got a few terrestrial bound releases for this week. So the first one is from the guys over at Aerosoft. So this is Fernbus Simulator. Fernbus Coach Simulator, sorry. So this has been developed in cooperation with Flixbus and MAN. So Flixbus is an actual coach operator, long distance bus driving, long distance bus operator, and MAN, of course, obviously builds the buses. So yeah, what this system does is it allows you to recreate and actually be able to go on long haul drives and long haul bus drives and intercity travels and stuff like that. There are over 40 German cities. We've got over 20,000 kilometers of the German road network are included. Looking pretty interesting, that's for sure. And overall, the detail quality of the graphics is actually better than I was expecting, particularly the rain and the weather effects. They actually look really cool. But yes, so anyway, so yeah, if long haul busing is your thing and you're not particularly into your trucks, but you want to haul passengers instead of cargo, this might be a simulator for you to look at. So the long haul buses, the long haul journeys are done at a time compression of 1:10. So even if your real world trip would take 12 hours, it won't take you quite that long to do in sim, which is nice. But yes, it's a beautifully looking, very detailed bus. setup and a very interesting dynamic weather and very interesting dynamic sort of system and challenges with various missions and scenarios as well. And you can also jump out of the bus and walk around. Apparently, that's a big thing to put off for that one as well. You go. So yes, very interesting. If you're into the world of bus driving and driving around in something that looks like an angry goat, then this possibly could be for you. And this is available now from your favorite simulation retailer or directly from Steam as well. Alright, sticking on the roads at the moment, we've got a couple of releases in the racing world. So, the first release this week is for Assetto Corsa. So, the latest piece of DLC from the Assetto Corsa stables is their triple pack. So, this gives you 2 Ferraris and a Praga. So, okay, so the Praga is a carbon, essentially a carbon based, carbon based. Is it carbon based, carbon manufactured, carbon designed? I don't know. I don't know how you feel. Anyway, either way, it's really stupidly light, incredibly aerodynamic, and this thing can pull 3 Gs in the corner. So this is kind of like a pretty crazy looking damn car. You also get the Ferrari 488 GTB as well, which is something that is sort of like a cross between the GT cars and an actual road vehicle as well. Essentially, I think it kind of falls into their sort of like stock V8 kind of category, I think, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's always a bit odd to reading a Ferrari's got a V8, not a V10 or a V12. But anyway, but the other one is kind of interesting to me. I actually did been reading about this car. This is interesting. The Ferrari FXXK. Basically, it's from the Boffins over at from Ferrari's R&D program, which are basically looking at kinetic energy recovery, something that has been messing around with for a while. But the idea is that you get a combination V12 traditional fuel burning engine, and you've got an electric engine hidden in there as well. So it's like basically designed to just be the best performance it can while saving weight and all the rest of it. So yeah, and still gives the full blood experience of an actual racing vehicle. So yeah, interesting, a racing hybrid. Who would have thought? But there you go. Anyway, so this is now modeled and available for you if you are an Assetto Corsa driver, available now for download from Steam, or if you are a console player through your console retail outlet. Alright, continuing on with the ground simulation at the moment and sticking with the racing genre. So the guys, a Brazilian company by the Reza Studios have released, okay, release might not be the best word, but actually it's gone to full release. So it's been in beta for open beta for quite a number of months now, for about 6-7 months now. But it is now finally fully available and fully released into version 1. So Automobilista Motorsport Simulator. Essentially, as I said, it's by a group of Brazilian guys, a Brazilian development team. And that's what they focus on. So it covers off all the major and popular racing types, vehicle motorsports in Brazil. So you got your stock car V8s, much like it is in Australia. You've got your Formula 3, your Formula 1, Mitsubishi Lancer Cup as well, and just looking absolutely insane. It's sort of like interesting that we've had a bit of a resurgence in quality driving simulations in the last year, and this one definitely looks like it's up there with it. Their main selling point seems to be their upscaled physics engine, and the fact that it's got things like the fact that your vehicle actually interacts with the terrain, not just in terms of like damage as well, but you will actually get you'll pick up dirt and mud and different kind of track conditions will actually, and oil and stuff on the track will actually affect how your vehicle handles. That's really interesting as well. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how well this actually gets implemented now it's into final release. But yes, available now from Steam or from Steam Automobilista, available as a standalone release, or you can get a season pass. So the season pass for all DLCs indicates that there's going to be a bucket ton of DLC coming out for this thing at some point. So yeah, if you like the look of it, you can just buy the standalone and then pick up the DLC season pass add-on later on, or just buy the bullet and go straight for the whole lot and save yourself a pretty little penny at launch here now. And rounding out the simulation news this week, so we've got the guys over for Train Simulator 2016. They have released another new add-on. This one, we've got the Springfield line, the Springfield New Haven route has been added on. So this is in New England, so extending from Springfield, Massachusetts to New Haven in Connecticut. This is over 62 miles of multiple track, densely packed mainline stuff. It's just insane amount of track work and a lot of very diesel and a lot of freight hauling as well as passenger hauling, and it's very bustling during the 1950s when there's a lot of growth in that area, especially with the manufacturing industry being at its peak in that part of the United States. And this add-on goes on to try to actually recreate that sort of bustling busyness of that era in the 50s and going to the 50s all the way through to the 70s. But yeah, primarily this one is focusing on the 1950s, and it gives you some locomotives to go mucking around into there as well. So you get the versatile GP9 electromotive, Alco's 1000 horsepower switcher, and a General Electric's 44 tonner to essentially use us for shunting. So there's quite a few bit of diesel electric power going on here as well. Not only do you get 3 main vehicles, you get a whole stack of rolling stock as well, including tank cars, box cars, flat cars. You've got passenger car types, all through the different classes, and of course you've got 14 challenging scenarios in here as well for your career mode, as well as fully compatible with quick drive, custom scenarios, and Steam Workshop scenarios as well. So yeah, it is looking absolutely this is possibly one of the bigger releases in terms of scenery releases I've seen come out from the guys for Train Simulator 2016 in quite a while. And yeah, looks quite impressive, this one. Yeah, as I said, available now, looking quite interesting. There you go. And this is available now for your train simulation pleasure, available now on Steam. Alrighty, that does now wrap up the simulation news for release news for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.